Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going through the mythic hero charm PvP guide with the optimal charms for PvP content on all of the heroes. This was put together by basically Milan, Shari, Starlord, and Metazoa, who came up with the optimal charms for each hero. They have a lot of experience in PvP testing and they run kind of the Fight Club Discord server. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. And the graphics were put together by Rainius and Breezy from the Yapala Discord. And I'll leave the Yapala Discord in the description as well. Now, the first thing I just want to mention is that if you have a hero already on their best PvE charm set, for example, if you have Blast Charms on Pandora, Insight onto Ludovic, they can get the job done in PvP as well. And personally, I wouldn't make it a priority to then also get their PvP charm set. I would just try to fill out the charm sets of other heroes. But if you want to just be fully geared for PvP and also optimize these heroes, then this is probably what would be the recommended option. Anyway, we're going to begin with the Mage. So Shamira Butcher Charms, that's good because everyone practically has the Butcher Charms on Shamira right now. Tossy Blast Charms, those have also always been a recommendation for her. Increase their ultimate power and an attack buff. You have Siren with the Destructor Charms, increasing his execution, which have always kind of been optimal for him. Interestingly, Talion with the Insight Charms that gives her skill power and HP for tankiness. And then Citrana with the Sturdy Charms. Citrana is a really good PvP hero, and Sturdy Charms to give her tankiness and energy recovery are definitely going to be the best for her. And Crying Eye with the Sorcery Charms, although I think Butcher Charms can also work in even PvE. Both of those charm sets are working, Sorcery or Butcher Charms. Arden, Lucy, Elsa, Cassidy, they're all going to be on the Mystic Charms, giving them the skill power for PvP, and Muriel with the Acute Charms. And then you have the Carolina with Arcane Charms, attack and skill power, Viperon with the Balance Charms, and then finally Parissa with the Swift Charms. So this is for PvP oriented content. However, some of these charm sets are also going to be the optimal for PvE content. For example, Cassidy very well could be, if she's in Ravage Realm, very well could be with the Mystic Charms as well. So a lot of times these heroes can be working in both PvE and PvP with the same charm set, but this basically priority guide is more for the PvP aspect. Okay, next up we have the Bonnie. Bonnie is going to be with the Insight Charms. Interesting, HP for tankiness and boosting her skill power. So Sorcery Charms have also been considered best for in the past, and for PvE content when it's just about getting damage out, Sorcery Charms also give her ultimate power, so there's a bonus there. But this overall is tankier, and that would be better. So Insight Charms onto Bonnie for PvP, you have Gale Charms onto Odie, which kind of always have been the case. For Ravage Realm, it could be Insight Charms, it could be Gale Charms for Odie. For Brian, Titanic Charms for attack. In crit, you have Sorcery Charms on Diurnal. Those have always been the best for him for ultimate power. Kulu with the Sorcery Charms as well. And then you have Butcher Charms onto Atalanta. That is going to be... for PvP, Butcher Charms are good. But for Crystal Crawler, Primal Lord, and probably for Ravage Realm, it's going to be Overlord on Atalanta. So again, I would probably make do with the Overlord Charms if you had them already. Merrily, Overlord Charms, same as for PvE content. Indris, Arcane Charms, I don't think many people have Indris. For Zany, it will be attack, Gale Charms, attack and attack speed, which are also going to benefit her turrets. Leica with the Mystic Charms kind of have always been considered the best. Gale Charms onto Cecia to boost her damage, and that's also usually if she's run in Ravage Realm, which she can be run in Ravage Realm. Gale Charms usually are the best for Cecia for that. And Butcher Charms for Reese. But Reese, unfortunately, even in Ravage Realm, he's not seeing usage. And in PvP, I just don't think he's good enough. So, yeah. For the tanks, we have Dunlinger with these charms. I can't remember the name of this charm, but I think this is also going to give energy recovery, if I remember correctly. Either way, it will increase the tankiness as well of Dunlinger. I think these are Resolute Charms. Can't completely remember their name, but I do remember these were the best in the previous season as well. Insight Charms onto Theodore, that's important because the skill power is going to boost the crit buff he provides to his Lieutenant, and also Insight Charms will make him tanker, and he's a tank. Bear Charms to make Thorin tankier. Cheeto Charms to give haste to the Kalin. Mystic Charms for Daemon, which are also best for PvE, which is good. Bear Charms for Almus, and that's to make him tankier. Cheeto Charms for Gerda. You have and this is also the charm set I don't know. I can't remember the name of this charm set with the fist, the blue fist. I get confused basically between sturdy, resolute, and the one that we saw in Dunlinger. I can't remember which is which, but these are for Luca. You have insight charms for Lumon for skill power and tankiness. You have the sturdy charms onto the Frestro and the Granny for the energy recovery and tankiness. And then you have insight charms onto Antandra that boosts your skill power, that increases her shielding amount, I think, to our frontline ally. You have the wizard charms onto Lucius that increases his ultimate power, and then you have the eagle charms onto Temesia that increases her ultimate power and also her tankiness, although Temesia not really used too much for PvP. Okay, so next up we have Rogue. Titanic are best for Lily May, however, generally for Ravage Rum, Sorcery are the best for Lily May. So usually what happens in the past is you just go for the Sorcery Charms and make it work in PvP as well. So that's probably what I would recommend if I had to choose right now. But we have to wait and see for Ravage Rum. We don't know entirely which is going to be the best set, but most likely it will be Sorcery Charms. Athalia, Overlord Charms are best for Eagle Charms for Shakira for PvP. This is the tough thing because like for Nocturne Judicator, Blast Charms are best for Shakira. For the other content, Mystic Charms are good for Shakira. Eagle Charms increase tankiness and also give haste, so that overall is good as well. You have Iron. This is going to be, again, I think tankiness and energy recovery if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's going to make him. But like, also, really any charm set can work on Iron. A lot of people do run like the cheetah charms on him because those are, I think, the thumbs up in game, which give him some haste as well. You have Saida with the blast charms, definitely that is the case. And even for Crystal Crawler, she was on blast charms. Pheromore for Mystic Charms, I guess for PvP, Mystic might be better, but Arcane also a good option. Arcane or Mystic, I think both are good for Pheromore. Kind of whichever one you get first. Butcher Charms onto Lenya definitely are the best for the crit and crit damage boost. Reaper onto, yeah, this gives execution and attack power for Sylvina to assassinate enemies. Same for Vala, having the Reaper Charms are going to be best. Butcher for the Walker would be the best, yeah, because crit and crit damage boost. Mystic Charms onto Seth for PvP. For Ravage Rum, we still don't know. Like, it could be Acute Charms, Mystic, Arcane, Ruthless. There are a lot of good charm sets for Seth, and it will like take time to figure that out. Arcane Charms for Soren for the skill power and attack. These charms for Burial, I think, again, tankiness and energy recovery. I believe this is what this charm provides. I can't completely remember. Gale Charms for Sinbad. For PvP, yes, Gale Charms for Sinbad. Even probably for Ravage Rum, most likely we're predicting Gale Charms for Sinbad. But for the boss, Elucia, it interferes with the timing of damage, and so you want balanced or Sorcery Charms and Sinbad for that. Executionary Charms like Destructive Charms onto Nara for increasing execution, and Mystic Charms onto Salazar. Okay, next up we have the support. So Pandora, these are going to be different from their recommended PvE charm set. So like I said, I would probably just stick with the PvE recommendation and like work on getting your other heroes like at least one decent set for them. Because even if you don't have the best in slot set, any set is going to be better than nothing. And so like Blast Charms on Pandora or Sorcery, like they're both good, but Blast would be fine too. And then you have Ludovic. These are the healing oriented charms. Insight, yeah, Insight are not great for PvP, honestly. They increase tankiness of Ludovic, but the skill power is just mainly for damage. And for like PvP, you're using him as a healer. Nero Reaper Charms are really important because Nero is used in a lot of PvP right now. He deals a lot of damage. Reaper Charms are the best for him. Eagle Charms for Twins for PvP. Again, it gives you the ultimate power which you want and also tankiness. So that's better than Sorcery Charms for PvP. And then you have Wizard Charms for Damien. That will increase the health of his Toy Chariot, I believe, with the ultimate power. Vigorous Charms to make the Mikola more tanky, but like Arcane Charms are recommended for PvE content, so I would prioritize that first. Sturdy Charms under Coco are good and even can work for PvE content. Recovering or Sorcery Charms on Smokey, both are basically identical. You have the Mystic Charms onto okay, so I guess because if you're running Hugin in PvP, you would probably have a hero who is stationary behind him to get advantage of the Mechanized Bond buff tile, and then Mystic Charms would be better. But if you have a hero who's leaving that tile, then Blast Charms can be better for Hugin, because then basically the skill power from this is better for it if you have a hero remaining on the Mechanized Bond buff tile, because it increases the attack buff from Mechanized Bond. Then you have the just healing recovery charms for Haywin, Mystic Charms for Rainier, which are also best for PvE content, Wizard Charms for Rowan, which are recommended, recovery charms for Faye, Arcane Charms for Lorison, giving him skill power and attack power, and Valar, who probably will not be used in PvP, but yeah, Mystic Charms you'll already have from, most likely from PvE content. Okay, finally we have the warriors. So for PvP, yes, Vigorous Charms increase the tankiness of Bailran. Insight Charms, the thing is, are fine also for PvP. However, they only give health and they give skill power. The skill power is not really as beneficial for PvP. That's just for damage output for Dream Realm and boss content. This is overall going to be a more tanky choice, these Vigorous Artifact, Vigorous Charms basically for the Bailran. Butcher for Harok. Butcher is better for PvP, Balance is better for like endless boss content. Reaper for Igor to finish off enemies, attack and also execution. You have the Healer Charm for Scarlita to boost her shielding to provide to allies, making her better support. Arcane Charms for Pang for skill power and also giving him the attack power to hit harder because he's mainly uses a bruiser that deals damage. Sorcery Charms onto Natsu have always kind of been the best. Even if he is using Ravage Realm, it will be Sorcery Charms, but it seems like for right now, Natsu is not great in Ravage Realm. At least from the day one testing on VN server. Arcane Charms onto Velka. And those are also the best charm set for Ravage Realm, for Velka. I believe, yeah, skill power and attack buff. So yeah, you're going to want to get Arcane Charms on Velka because she's a hard-hitting damage deal for Ravage Realm as well. Insight Charms of Brutus are big. They increase the duration of his invincibility by a long duration. And this gives him skill power to provide that. Sonya, so you're probably not using Sonya in PvP, but Insight are better than Arcane because the health is better than attack for PvP. But for damage output for boss content, you'll want the Arcane Charms. So probably just stick with Arcane. Xandrock. Insight, that gives health and skill power. Those are going to be the optimal charm set if you have Xandrock. Now for Ravage Realm, I'm not sure yet. It could very well be that this is the best charm set because skill power probably definitely to increase his buff value for allies. And then also HP is going to increase its own damage output. So probably Insight is best for Ravage Realm as well, when you think about it. Arcane for Hodgkin, Insight for Kaffir if you're running in, Blast for Valen, Cheetah for the Kruger. For boss content, Mystic are probably a bit better, but Cheetah is more tanky. But like most people are not using Kruger in PvP. Sorcery for Floribel. For Ravage Realm, if she is used, Gale Charms were used in the past. We'll have to see about that. And then you have there's too many blue charm sets basically that it's difficult to figure out. There's a helmet, there's a fist, this fist from Luca, there's this shield from Fresto, there's this like mask from Burial. Like there's so many blue charm sets, I really forget what is what. I think one of them gives attack speed, maybe this one gives attack speed, I don't know. But anyway guys, this is a really good kind of overview of PvP charms you can be targeting. Now that you have plenty of Branko essences, you can get your key like Supreme Arena team lineups on their best charms. That would be good for you to do. But keep in mind, if you already have a good charm set for the hero for PvE or already some decent charm set you've naturally crafted or swept, then you don't need to necessarily upgrade their charm set. You can then focus on a different hero. That's kind of like what I like to do until every hero has a decent charm set on them before I try to like, min-max every specific one. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any other tips or any other like recommendations for charms, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's a link for that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus Dragon Crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.